welcome to yet another episode of Other Items of Interest. I'm your host, Jack Zablocki. This week we have a special show for you. We're going to be celebrating the heat. This is our summer vacation spectacular. I think you're going to enjoy it. I hope. We'll see. Hey everybody. Good morning, good evening, good day, good night. Whenever you are, wherever you are, hello. This is Other Items of Interest. I'm Jack Zablocki. I got another show for you, if you care to listen. I wanted to make mention of something from last week. If you listened last week, and not too many people did, for whatever reason. I can think of one good reason. The show is a little shit sometimes. Especially last week. I was a little out of it. A little loopy, very tired. It was fun, all in all, I think, and humorous. But at one point, I jokingly berated the listening audience for not checking out the website. Well, I'm officially a schmuck because it was pointed out to me that I've been giving out the wrong goddamn website address. Whenever I mention the site, I give it out as otheritemsofinterest.com. Turns out you need the www dot before the rest of the address to get through. I don't know if your browser reconciles that. Mine doesn't. Person who let me know, theirs doesn't. So www.otheritemsofinterest.com. It's only been 20 shows, give or take, giving out the wrong address, like a schmuck. Officially a schmuck. So that's where we are with that. Is my face red? I think it might be. So this week, I'm more well-resteder, and we have a theme for the second half of the show. First half is just screwed up stories, to put it simply. The second half of the show is what I call the summer vacation spectacular. Ooh, sounds exciting. It's just a bunch of summertime stories. They're interesting, they're funny. I hope you enjoy them. Other than that, let's just get on with it, I think. I think that's a good idea. I hope you enjoy. And we're going to start off the show. Well, we already started off the show, I guess, with an announcement. With the stories, we're going to start off with an update of sorts. If you've been listening since the early beginning, that's redundant, since about May, perhaps, there was a story we covered about Pittsburgh and their alligator problem. Sounds like a bad horror movie. But here's an update. Alligator in parking lot is Pittsburgh area's fourth since May, from UPI.com. And there's a picture of the newest gator that they've caught. About a 2-footer. Police said an alligator was caught wandering in the parking lot of a Pennsylvania store. The fourth alligator captured in the Pittsburgh area since May. Shaler Township Police said the Big Daddy Wildlife Group, that's a good name, I like that, Big Daddy Wildlife Group, was called in to assist overnight when the 2-foot alligator was spotted in the parking lot of a Giant Eagle store Animal control took custody of the reptile, and police asked anyone with information on the origins of the suspected escaped pet to contact them. The gator is the fourth member of its species found in Allegheny County since an alligator was captured in Riverfront Park in May. That's all there is to it, just a quick update. Fourth gator caught in Pittsburgh. I don't know if there's going to be a fifth or a sixth. I hope this is a growing trend, and Pittsburgh gets known for their alligator infestation. Nothing against Pittsburgh. It's just something unique to have for your city. I think. That's just me. And now with our update out of the way, let's get on to our proper stories. This one comes from canoe.com. Seeing green. Contact lens infection from showering nearly blinds woman. And this is also a bit of a PSA, a public service announcement, if you will. There's a picture right up top. Check it out in the show notes at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. The www is very important. It's paramount. For those who wear contact lenses, beware. See, it's already a public service announcement. Graphic images coming from a case study of a 41-year-old English woman detailed in the New England Journal of Medicine show the consequences of wearing your contact lenses in the wrong places. And I don't think they mean your elbow. The unidentified woman contracted a rare but vision-threatening infection that was likely caused by wearing her contact lenses while showering and swimming. That's the first I've ever heard that, maybe I just don't listen, that you shouldn't wear your contact lenses while showering. Swimming, I've been told, don't do it. I can understand that. Doctors diagnosed the woman with acanthamoeba keratitis, which doesn't sound pleasant at all. It's a vision-threatening infection most commonly associated with contact lens wear, the report said. She claimed she wore monthly disposable lenses and left them in while showering and swimming. Apparently you're not supposed to do, as stated. According to the report, she had a 2-month history of intermittent pain, blurry vision, and sensitivity to her left eye. During her examination, the report noted she had 20/20 vision in her good right eye, and wait for it, this is astounding, 20/200 vision in her infected left eye. Is that even an eyeball anymore? 20/200 vision? Information from the Center for Disease Control and Infection, good old CDC, describes the infection as a microscopic free-living amoeba. Pleasant. The CDC says the amoeba is found worldwide in the environment, in water and soil. While the woman was treated for the infection, the report says a dense central corneal scar and cataract prevented the vision in her left eye from fully recovering. Improper disinfecting, storing, and handling of contact lenses raises the likelihood of contracting the infection. While the infection is rare, other problems surrounding improper care of contact lens care place you at a higher risk of infection. Dr. Patrick Vollmer, an optometrist with the Vita Eye Clinic in Shelby, North Carolina, shared similar images showing the eye infection of an individual who wore their contact lenses while sleeping. Well, I don't wear contacts anymore, but I was guilty of that terribly. I guess I'm fortunate that what happened to this lady didn't happen to me. So there's your public service announcement. And really check out the picture through the show notes at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. What I'm looking at here was an eyeball. What it looks like is a irradiated green olive surrounded by rotten jello. Doesn't that sell you to go to the show notes and check out the picture. It's really gross. Do yourself a favor, check it out. And here we have a story, little not safe for work, from dailymail.co.uk. It's not a little safe for work. It's just unsafe for work. Not safe for work. Excuse me. We'll just get on with it because it's bothersome. Husband who accidentally killed his new wife with a spiked 8-inch sex toy during a 48-hour bondage session is given an 18th-month suspended jail sentence in Germany. Got all that? That's the headline. We'll get into it some more. A German man. There's some German words in here that I'm going to stumble over like crazy because they're crazy sounding words. A German man who is facing manslaughter charges for killing his wife in a 48-hour BDSM sex session days after their wedding has been dealt a suspended jail sentence of 18 months. Judge Johann Hochgertel of Krefeld Court in the western state of North Rhine-Westphalia ruled the fatal internal injuries that Ralph Yankis, spelled with a J, but you know the Germans, they don't pronounce it like a J, it's like a Y, so his last name is Yankis. It's kind of ironic to me, Yankis. I think you get it. Ralph Yankis, 52, inflicted on his wife Christelle, 49, were an accident and that he loved her. We can assume it was consensual sex, Judge Hochgertel said, while giving the verdict, adding the accused was not likely to repeat the act. And right there we have a photo. There's a couple of photos on the site here. The lovely newlyweds. I suggest checking them out. I don't want to say too much about them. Not a couple, for me anyway, just my opinion, not a couple you want to imagine having a 48-hour BDSM sex session. Yankis insisted throughout the trial that he had loved his wife. After her death, he posted on Facebook, "Unfortunately, I have to share with you all that my beloved wife died suddenly, just 8 days after our wedding. I am distraught." Last week, a court spokesman in the city of Krefeld or Krefeld, I don't know, confirmed that a psychiatric report shows the accused is fully accountable for his actions. There are no indications to suggest he should be exempt from criminal responsibility, the spokesman said. Just days after their wedding, Yankis and Christelle enjoyed a mammoth 48-hour sex session when Yankis inserted an 8-inch long spiked sex toy, inside her, causing fatal internal damage to her intestines. It was an object with spikes or bristles, the public prosecutor told the court, according to the German newspaper Bild. When emergency services were eventually called 4 days later, there was nothing they could do to save the victim. Self-confessed sadomasochism fan Yankis was facing manslaughter charges for failing to call for help, although he said he was not aware his wife was seriously ill. When questioned, he told police the sex had been consensual and that he has been taking part in BDSM sessions for the past 30 years. And we have another couple of photos, separate photos of the newlyweds. Yankis looks like a corrupt Southern lawyer. from a movie made from a John Grisham novel. Check it out in the show notes at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. And there's more to check out because we'll get to it. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Well, it's right here, actually. Next photo is of the sex toy, which I imagined as a silicone sex toy, that kind of variety. This is metal. It's made out of metal. It looks like a tuning fork, and at the end is a roller with metal spikes. Lots and lots of metal spikes. It looks more like a gardening tool than a sex toy. Why you would insert this into somebody, I do not know. How do you not realize this is going to cause damage? This could rototill your garden. Back to the article. According to reports, he told police that he loved his wife clearly, and instead of going on a honeymoon, they opted for a steamy sex session lasting 2 days. Yankish reportedly said that his wife had previously complained about discomfort and had been to see a specialist who carried out a colonoscopy, but nothing had been found wrong with her. Forensic specialists came to the conclusion that the woman must have had some sort of barbed hook. There are lots of barbed hooks inserted into her, and when it was removed, it perforated her bowel, which does not sound pleasant in the slightest. The victim's 30-year-old son, who has not been named. Really? 30 years of life and you haven't been given a name? I joke. I kid. He didn't want his name out. I understand. He claimed his mother had been abused as a child and was mentally unstable. Then we have a couple of pictures of her. I don't want to make an opinion on her. You can go look for yourself. You know the website. Don't forget the www. He said his mother was dominated by her new husband and had started wearing clothes to cover up alleged injuries. According to local media, she had previously reported her partner for abuse in 2017, but later withdrew her complaint and spent some time in a psychiatric clinic. Her son claimed that she fled to a woman's shelter in 2018 before returning happier and wanting to marry her partner in July of the same year. He said she had injuries over her whole body and especially in her genital area. I warned her that she was putting up with too much and that it should never have gone this far. He claims that Yankees abused, mistreated, and humiliated his mother, but added, I do think she loved him, though. Fair enough. The son's unnamed partner, who is also a court witness, said, we had no idea about the violence at first, but over time it became more apparent. She was not allowed to leave the apartment and was forced to take drugs. She was beaten for going to the hairdressers without permission. The couple had been together since 2011. The end of that fairy tale. Jeez Louise. That's not pleasant at all. Let's just move on. I think that's for the best. I almost want to say cue the music and just end the show right now. But I won't. We have much more to get to. And the following comes from Kake.com. That's Kake. News on your side, as they say. West Virginia residents using wasp spray as meth alternative. I can't imagine wasp spray to be enjoyable. I'm not going to try it out to find out for myself. I'm good, thank you. I'm cool. Residents in West Virginia are using wasp spray as an alternative form of methamphetamine, according to officials. West Virginia State Police called the use of wasp spray a cheap fix for the drug. People are making a synthetic type of methamphetamine out of wasp spray. How many times can I say wasp spray? Sergeant Charles Sutphin told ABC Charleston affiliate WCHS on Monday. Police believe wasp spray, oh my God, was behind 3 overdoses last week. It was not immediately clear how the people consumed the spray. I'd be interested to know. Are they just huffing it, One day we'll find out. I'm sure there's going to be more stories on this bullshit. Sutphin said the physical effects include erratic behavior, extreme swelling, and redness of the hands and feet. What a good time. That sounds really pleasant. What else? What else does it do to you? Pyrethroid, I don't know how to say that. A chemical found in wasp sprays can cause allergic reactions in some people, and repeated exposure could increase the intensity of the reaction, according to a recent study done by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln on pesticides. Sutphin echoed the notion that the more often one encounters wasp spray, the more dangerous it becomes. From what we're being told, if you use it, you might use it once or twice and be fine, but the third time, when your body hits that allergic reaction, it can kill you, he told WCHS. Dr. Rutherford Rose, the director of the Virginia Poison Control, told ABC News Wednesday that fatal allergic reactions from pyrethroid are rather uncommon, but a person could be seriously poisoned. Imagine that. He noted that the trend of abusing household items to get high is not new, specifically mentioning the idea of sniffing whiteout, paint, and whipped cream. Well, you don't sniff whipped cream. That'd be pretty stupid. I thought they took out whatever makes you get high from whiteout. I thought they took that chemical out. Maybe they just said that so people would stop doing it. I don't know. There's a long history of people attempting to use products in an attempt to recreate some kind of high, Rose said. Maybe if there was something somewhat safe, like a plant, like marijuana maybe, on a federal level made it legal, we wouldn't have this type of bullshit happening. People looking to consume wasp spray. There, I said it again. The reasons for using wasp spray as an alternative form of meth, he said, could be a result of what he described as a more restrictive opioid market. It's not surprising that as the opioid market becomes more restricted, people are turning to other things, he said. It's a sign or a symptom of a larger problem we have. We work on the supply, but there's also the demand, and that's a lot harder. If you restrict the supply of some things, they'll turn to something else, he said. And that's how that works. Don't do any kind of bug spray. It can't be. Captain Obvious chiming in. It can't be good for you, right? If you happen to be the slightest bit squeamish, this one's not for you. Very grim from azcentral.com. Cooler filled with male genitalia found in raid of Phoenix body donation company. And that's not all they found. 33 plaintiffs say Biological Resource Center lied to families and treated the deceased with a lack of dignity or respect. And here we go. A head sewn onto a mismatched body, a bucket of limbs, and a cooler filled with penises are among items found by FBI agents during a raid on a Phoenix body donation business. You can fast forward if you want. I won't be offended. The now shuttered for-profit Biological Resource Center specialized in accepting the bodies of people after they had died, and in exchange offering their families free pickup of the bodies plus the cremated remains of the body parts the company did not sell. That's one hell of a business. Arizona is a regulatory-free zone for the body parts industry. At least 4 body donation companies are operating in Arizona, in addition to a nonprofit cryonics company that freezes people after they die with the intent of one day bringing them back to life. I think baseball player Ted Williams, his head is on ice in one of these cryonics places in Arizona. That's beside the point of the article. An FBI special agent during a January 2014 raid of the Biological Resource Center stumbled on what he described as various unsettling scenes. The agent's grisly eyewitness account of the raid was recently revealed in a civil lawsuit against the business and its owner, Stephen Gore. That's right, his last name is Gore, and he deals in body parts. The case is set for trial October 21st in Maricopa County Superior Court. 33 plaintiffs have sued the Biological Resource Center, saying the remains of their family members were obtained through false statements that body parts were being sold for profit to various middlemen, and that they were not stored, treated, or disposed of with dignity or respect. I still don't understand why they had a cooler full of penises. The article never addresses that, so... Reacting to the Biological Resource Center case, Arizona passed a law in 2017 that says body donation companies are not allowed without a state license. However, the law has not yet been implemented or enforced. I don't know what they're waiting for. All 4 body donation companies known to be operating in Arizona are accredited by the American Association of Tissue Banks, which the Biological Resource Center was not. Man, this company is just failing, not doing well on all fronts. The Phoenix Company was raided after a nationwide criminal investigation. Efforts to reach Gore, who is listed in court filings as representing himself in the civil action, were unsuccessful. That's a good idea in a case so complex as this, to represent yourself. I'm sure he'll come out on top. In his declaration contained in the civil lawsuit's court file, former Phoenix FBI Special Agent Mark Quinar said he personally observed various unsettling scenes while inside Biological Resource Center. Many of the body parts he saw were piled on top of one another, with no apparent identification to indicate what bodies they came from or to whom they belonged. In addition to a cooler filled with male genitalia, Quinar testified that he also saw a large torso with the head removed and replaced with a smaller head sewn together in a Frankenstein manner. That's all sorts of fucked up. I know I'm giggling. I don't know if you can hear me giggling in the background. I'm trying not to, but somebody took the time out of their day to find the biggest body they could find and the smallest head they could find, and sew them together to make like a Beetlejuice. And remember, at the end of Beetlejuice, he gets the voodoo powder sprinkled on his head, becomes a shrunken head. That's what I imagine. And here's what Quinar said he saw: large male torsos with limbs and genitalia removed, buckets and coolers with various body parts, including a bucket of heads, arms, and legs. Body parts piled on top of each other throughout the facility with no apparent identification, and steel freezers with frozen body parts inside with no apparent identification. Court documents included a report from 2 experts for the plaintiffs that referred to a 2013 request to use at least 2 Biological Resource Center bodies for the purpose of plastination for education. The experts said plastination, which is a way of preserving entire human bodies, should require separate consent because the preservation is more permanent and the bodies are often publicly displayed. That'd be my luck. I just don't want that. I mean, if I gave my body to science, that's one thing, that's fine. But preserving me forever in plastic and then putting me on display, I'm a little shy. I'm a little shy about those things. I know I can't do anything about it. I won't be aware of it, but I don't want it. In October 2015, Gore tearfully pleaded guilty to conducting an illegal enterprise after accusations that he had provided vendors with contaminated human tissue and used body parts in ways that the donors had not permitted. In a letter to Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Warren Granville, before his December 2015 sentencing, Gore wrote that he felt overwhelmed, but that he was working in an industry with no formal regulations to reference for guidance. Common sense. There's always that. I could have been more open about the process of donation on the brochure we put in public view, Gore wrote. When deciding which donors could be eligible to donate, I should have hired a medical director rather than relying on medical knowledge from books or the internet. This guy's a real winner. Research by plaintiff's lawyers say Gore's highest level of education was high school and that he did not have any licenses or certifications applicable to body donation program operations. The Biological Resource Center was a for-profit body donation company that accepted donations of bodies after people died. The company gave donors and their families free transportation services to pick up the body, plus free cremation. I think we covered that already. One of the problems is that some families thought that a body donation meant their loved ones' bodies were being given to a charity to help with disease research. Some mistakenly thought the Biological Resource Center would be donating the loved one's organs, not knowing that organ donation and body donation are not the same thing. Not all were aware the Biological Resource Center often dismembered and sold various body parts. A 2013 price list, this is pretty interesting, 2013 price list that is part of the court file indicates sale prices for body parts. Whole body with no shoulders or head, $2,900. Torso with head, $2,400. Whole spine, $950. Whole leg, $1,100. Whole foot, $450. Knee, $375. And pelvis, $400. So that's that. Very disturbing. And there's more going on there than what the FBI agent found. There had to have been. I don't know if I want to know about it. Well, I think after that very unpleasant story about body parts and penises and coolers, I think it's time to get on with our summer vacation spectacular. Of stories regarding county fairs, public pools, ice cream trucks, so on. Here's our first one from the MiamiHerald.com. Watermelons to replace piglets in California Fair event. And right up top is a cute little picture of a bunch of piglets sleeping together. Caption reads, 2-week-old piglets sleep during the opening day of the Thurston County Fair in Lacey. The fair starts Wednesday. Except the tag on it says Olympian File 2013, so these piglets are probably long butchered. Sorry, I thought we were supposed to have fun with the summer vacation spectacular, and I ruined it. Anyway, watermelons to replace piglets in California Fair event. Watermelons are set to replace piglets in an annual event celebrating agriculture at a California fair. The Press Democrat reported Saturday that the Sonoma County Fair has eliminated the pig scramble from Farmers' Day due to rising public concern and protests over animal welfare. In the long-running event at the fair in Santa Rosa, youngsters chased and tried to capture piglets weighing 40 to 60 pounds. That's a usual fair event, I think. Not anymore. Officials say this year's event, August 4th, will instead include elementary school children carrying watermelons slicked with vegetable oil around an obstacle course in a timed race. Oh, those poor kids are going to be covered in oil in August heat. That can't be fun. The board president said the decision reflects a heightened awareness toward calls for humane treatment of farm animals at the fair 55 miles north of San Francisco. Sounds like fun. Yeah? No? I can't imagine the kids were hurting the piglets too much. I don't want piglets to get hurt. But oiled up watermelons just doesn't sound like it's a good idea. Am I being a Grinch about the summer fair? Probably. Here's some more county fair news from foxnews.com. Award-winning lamb under investigation for performance-enhancing drugs. An award-winning lamb is currently under investigation and may be stripped of its title after veterinarians at the Logan County Fair in Ohio found illegal drugs in its system. And there we have a picture from somewhere. I don't know if that's the lamb in question. Looks like a lamb. Don't know if it's an award-winning lamb. I'm not one to judge. Performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, have transcended from sports to livestock, as the grand champion lamb was given a performance-enhancing diuretic. I think that's supposed to be read, given. God damn it, Fox News. Every time I do an article from Fox News, there's a typo or a mathematical equation that's completely wrong. I just don't get it. Anyway, the grand champion lamb was given a performance-enhancing diuretic, which is banned from competition because it makes the animal's muscles feel leaner. You want a tight lamb, something ripped. You don't want a pudgy, soft lamb to show off to the judges because you're not going to win. That's what I'm gathering from this. The Ohio Department of Agriculture is spearheading the investigation into lamb PED use, although it doesn't seem to be as rampant as steroid use in baseball during the 1990s. My God. Who writes this shit? I mean, you're probably yelling at me and saying stop using Fox News as a source, but I'm a glutton for punishment, so I do it. It's not clear what will happen to the owner after the investigation is complete. I guess he can get in trouble somehow. I don't know if he gets fined or what. Banned from next year's county fair, or who knows. We don't know how it got in there, and we may never know, but it's the exhibitor's responsibility to present an animal to the fair for competition that's free of all of those, Dr. Tony Forshee, the state veterinarian at the Ohio Department of Agriculture, told NBC4 Columbus. The grand champion lamb was reportedly shown by a young 4-H member between July 7th and 13th when it tested positive for the illegal drugs. 4-H is a network of youth organizations created to engage the development of young people and is administered by the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. 4-H used to have a jingle. I just almost wanted to sing it, but I don't think I'm allowed to sing songs on the podcast without prior written consent or paying some kind of copyright fee. You can go to YouTube and look it up if you like. A problem with diuretics is, while they give the lamb an unfair advantage, they also contaminate the meat. That always gets me. I mean, it doesn't. I understand what 4-H does. They raise an animal, then they kill it off for the meat. But, winner, winner, lamb dinner, right? For she added that you don't want people eating animals that are carrying adulterated products. That sentiment was also shared by Jute Marahue, an 11-year-old who talked about the importance of knowing the right way to care for your animal. It's really important because you know how to take care of your animal. You know if it gets sick what to do. You can inform other people about it that don't know, and it's just a really great learning experience, said Jute Marahue. That's an interesting name, Jute. Jute's 13-year-old brother Hawkins shared a wise opinion on PED abuse in livestock competitions. You don't want an animal with a ton of drugs in it because it might not be safe to eat and everything, said Hawkins. So that's why I think it's pretty important to have good quality stuff. I like when they quote kids. They have good quotes. The lamb is currently being held until all the drugs are flushed out of its system. After that, it will be sent to slaughter and taken to market. And that's that. And as I usually say with these Fox News articles, do not wade into the comments section. But this time it's pretty safe. Not the funniest comments. Mildly amusing, if that. And it only takes about 7 or 8 comments before you get a political one, because that's what was called for. Well, what's summer without ice cream? And what's ice cream without the ice cream truck or ice cream van, depending on where you live and what you call it? From cbc.ca, don't call 911 to complain about an ice cream truck, Peel police say. That's right. Someone called 911 because, well, I think it spoke for itself. A homeowner in the Greater Toronto area called 911 to complain about the length of time an ice cream truck was parked outside, Peel police say. The call was made on Saturday, which was the hottest day in Toronto so far this year. It's hot outside, which means the ice cream trucks will probably be out. If the ice cream truck stops in front of your house and is there for a bit due to all the children, it's still not a reason to call 911 to complain, Peel police said in a tweet. People have to be told this. Like they've never encountered an ice cream truck before and what it's supposed to be doing. With temperatures soaring as high as 34 degrees Celsius and the humidex making it feel like 44, I'm not good with Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. I'm guessing that's close to 100. Someone please correct me. I should really learn that stuff. I think we all should. I'm getting way off topic. It's not a surprise that the trucks were out and about, offering sweet relief to help people stay cool, says Constable Akil Mukin. It's the first time I've heard of someone calling 911 to complain about an ice cream truck, Mukin told CBC Toronto. It's not just ice cream. Recently, cops have been dealing with high volumes of calls from people complaining about the Amber Alert system. You gotta be a special kind of asshole to complain about a system that's supposed to save children. Anyway, whether it be how the Amber Alert system is run, or ice cream trucks or vendors, there's many other means to voice those concerns while keeping 911 lines open for true and actual emergencies, Mukin said. For non-emergency situations, people are encouraged to call 311 instead. I don't know what good calling that band is going to do. Sorry. Although Mukin has been notified of any other calls this season that surprised him quite as much as this one, he said, "We still have a little bit to go in the summer, so we'll see what happens." And there's a photo down there from Twitter of an officer getting an ice cream cone. If you're so inclined, you can check www.otheritemsofinterest.com. Don't forget the www. Thank you. In further ice cream truck news, or in this case, ice cream van, from mirror.co.uk, ice cream man's vans torched by arsonists in summer turf war feud. Not the happiest story, but an interesting one nonetheless. An ice cream man claims his 2 vans were torched by arsonists as part of a bitter summer holidays turf war. Tony Del Buso says rival sellers targeted his family-run business in an ongoing row over pitches, which I assume is, I don't speak British, parking spots, I guess. The 50-year-old, known as Mr. Cool, says 4 other businesses operate in his hometown of Hinckley, Lancashire. It's not a what is it, county? It's not one I can pronounce at all. Tony's Mr. Cool and Super Whippy vans went up in flames on the driveway of his family home on Thursday. The fire spread to his house, destroying their garage and bedroom and causing 70,000 pounds worth of damage. And there we have a photo of one of his ice cream vans completely. The front is just burned out. There's no salvaging this vehicle. You can check it out in the show notes. You know the address. If you don't, it's www.otheritemsofinterest.com. I wonder how many people have turned off the podcast by now for me pimping my own site. Tony and his wife Yvonne have been running the business for 8 years, taking over from his ice cream seller dad. He said, "It's a long-running family-run business and nothing like this has happened before. We suspect because of the fact they targeted 2 ice cream vans, it was something to do with competitors stopping us from trading." There's another photo of the night of the fire. Not much can be seen. It's just, what you can see is the fire ablaze. They're lucky that didn't get out of control. There are numerous rivals, around 3 or 4 of them working on the same patch, but it's never come to aggression. 9 times out of 10, you just accept somebody else got there first. In busy periods, it can get a bit heated because it's hot out, but we rarely clash with each other. I believe that is his other van, which is, I can't tell if it's the same one or not. It's from a different angle. The first one I saw had the one side was completely unburnt. This one looks far worse. There are occasions where you turn up on the same road at the same time and your pitches overlap. Whether somebody has taken exception to that, I don't know. He added the vans were parked around 50 feet away from each other, so they have deliberately targeted them. And there's Tony Del Buso. He did not look like a happy man. I can only think it was to reduce the competition. I think it could be a trade war. It's destroyed the business. It's on hold now, and we are considering our future. This time of year, we are heavily booked for events. And yet another photo of the first van I mentioned. We can't do these until we get a replacement van. I have heard about ice cream wars happening, but never locally. It's frightening to think we could be at the center of one. It also caused a considerable amount of damage to the house. It's destroyed the garage and the bedroom, but could have been much, much worse. Police have launched an investigation into the fire and urge witnesses to get in touch. It's a damn shame. Sounds like this could have been like a Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn movie circa 2005. Warring ice cream vans. Maybe I'll go back in time and pitch it to somebody. Okay. From Fox5NY.com, Fox 5 New York, community pool closed because someone kept pooping in it. You got that? It's not like somebody pooped in it once. They kept pooping in it. The Buckingham Recreational Facilities Association has a public service announcement for its visitors. Stop pooping in its pool. In a notice posted Friday afternoon, the association's president said the community pool had to be closed because someone has been defecating in the pool. And yes, they believe it was on purpose. Oh, man. Yeah, of course it was on purpose. Serial pooper. Due to the frequency over the past week, we believe this is intentional, read the statement. The neighborhood pool is in Macomb Township. They give the address here. I don't see the point, but I'll do it anyway. Located at 50483 Crusader Drive near 23 Mile Road. Very pertinent information. In response to the repeated offense, the board's president said they are reviewing attendance logs and recorded videos. Rest assured that we are following published guidelines to restore the pool to a safe and sanitary condition. Serial pooping problems have plagued Michigan communities in the past. In 2014, the Ypsilanti Police Department made contact with an individual who had been pooping on public park slides. That's actually that's mean. Because when you're going down that slide, you don't have time to stop if you see a turd at the bottom. To lock down any chance of more feces showing up in its pool, the Buckingham Recreational Group said it has also hired a second pool attendant who will oversee duties. Who wrote this? They knew what they were doing. Duties. Oversee duties at the pool. However, the recent hire means the annual carnival put on by the association will be canceled. Oh. That really took a turn for the worse. This serial pooper ruined it for everyone. All right, well, let's just hold on for a second. Let's go on to the next story. You want justice? Here's your justice. From mlive.com. Michigan pool pooper caught on camera, banned for summer. How about that? A two-parter. A lot of it's going to be the same information. A serial pooper in Metro Detroit has been identified. The Buckingham Recreational Facilities Association, which oversees the day-to-day operations of the subdivision pool located near 23 Mile Road, east of Romeo Plank Road, I don't know how to pronounce it, or how they pronounce it, in Macomb County, said it was working to identify the mystery pooper last week. On Thursday, the organization's board president said the person responsible has been caught on video. According to the notice, the member responsible will not be allowed to return to the pool for the remainder of the season. I think that's a swell idea. Various restitution options are also being considered. A pool attendant has been hired to remain on site until the end of the summer to help ensure unnecessary pool shutdowns don't happen again. And if you live in the area, they'd like you to know the reopened pool's summer hours are 9:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So there you have it. Justice has been served. There's not enough justice on this show, I don't think. So this feels good. Puts a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. And I'm not sure how this exactly fits into our summer vacation spectacular, but it does get hot. I think that's obvious. You want to be cool as best you can be. So why not be naked? Man caught on camera walking into store naked to get coffee. From abc13.com. There is video on this one. I did not watch it. You can, if you want to check out it in the show notes, at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. From Bennington, Vermont. A coffee shop in Vermont promises to make its customers feel right at home. But one customer took that notion a bit too seriously. He entered the shop the same way he entered the world, naked. Security footage shows the man walking into Bringing You Vermont. That's the name of the coffee shop, Bringing You Vermont, on Wednesday. He asked the cashier where the coffee was. In a calm motion, she directed the man to a self-serve pot of coffee toward the back of the store before returning to the counter. He asked, "Where's a good place to go swimming?" And she directed him to a good area, shop owner Ryan Hassett said. He paid for his coffee and out the door he went. Police tracked the man down before he made it to his swimming spot. After asking when he removed his clothes, it was decided that no arrest could be made. The state of Vermont only recognizes nudity as a crime if someone disrobes in public or touches themselves. I think that's fair. Simply being naked, however, is completely legal. Very interesting. While it may not be illegal, Hassett isn't encouraging people to take advantage of the law. I have no problem with somebody acting natural, but I'm not encouraging people to come into our establishment au natural. Au natural? I hate that. Hassett said that. And there's some related articles at the end. We have a video of police pull over a naked man riding scooter. It's a motorized scooter. He is wearing a helmet and some, looks like Birkenstock sandals. So he's completely naked. Top and bottom are covered. Everything in between bare. Then we have a naked man jumps on car and exposes himself near Sam Houston High School. And there we have it's a video. It's all blurred out, basically. You can see his legs. He's on an overpass or a bridge or something. He's got one black sock, one white sock. And then, last but not least, man returns home, finds naked man. It says naked stranger, but yeah, it's going to be a stranger. Finds naked stranger on couch drinking juice. And there is a video, but they have his mugshot. He looks all kinds of fucked up. And that's that. So if you're in Vermont, as long as you just do not disrobe in public, leave the house naked, you're fine. That's fantastic. Go for it. I don't know if I'm going to get angry during this one, but the woman, the mother of the family in this story, annoys the shit out of me. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can figure it out and let me know. Maybe I'm just overreacting. From abc7.com, woman's topless photobomb ruins family's Texas state park trip. This is the news, people. What was supposed to be a family memory to be cherished forever has now been tainted, a Cypress, Texas mother says. You see her boob, nipple, everything, Monica Davila said. That's the woman who annoys the shit out of me. You see her boob, nipple, everything. What else is everything? You pretty much covered it with the boob and the nipple. Maybe hairs, a couple of hairs. God forbid a lump. You don't want that. But the boob and the nipple, that is everything. It was quite the photobomb shell shocker for her. We're trying to recreate memories, Davila said. Having some chick's boob isn't allowing us to do that. I think she might have made the memory better. As she was going through her vacation pictures from Garner State Park Monday morning, she noticed a smiling woman who had lifted her shirt to expose her breast. That's funny. We had no idea that was going on, she said. Davila said just recently her husband's grandmother passed away. How old was she? Husband's grandmother. Recently passed away. So the family planned a trip together in her honor. And to see that type of photobomb ruined what was supposed to be a fun, friendly family gathering. I just feel completely disrespected, she said. She needs to get over herself. I just think I think great grandma would have chuckled at a booby photobomb. You know, some of the older ladies are they get a little risque in their old age. They laugh at that stuff. Have a sense of humor about it. I'm sure she would. She goes on to say, I just think this person should be held accountable. What she did was wrong. There were kids there watching her. Lucky kids. In fact, in the photo, you can see what looks like a young person staring right at her. Me personally, I think this is a big deal, she said. I can't imagine what else she thinks is a big deal. This woman must be a headache factory. Davila said she called Uvalde police. I don't know how to pronounce that. Uvalde police to file a report, and also decided to share it on Facebook. So now you're making everybody else look at it. You got to make everybody, you think everybody else is going to be miserable? You jerk. Let's make this go viral so that she can be embarrassed, she said. Normally, exhibitionists do not get embarrassed. I don't think this woman's I think the photobombing booby woman is going to get a real kick out of it if it goes viral. Hundreds of people so far have left comments on her Facebook post. I've had criticism on both sides. People are like, who cares? It's just a boob. But I care, Davila said. I bet she's real shrill. I care. My picture. No boobies. Davila said Uvalde police were interested in following this through. I'm sure they would study that boob. And would have an officer call her back. And that's that. Family vacation, family photo, all ruined. Whole world is coming to an end. No boobies. No photo bombs. How dare she? Let's move on before I have an aneurysm. And here we are with the last story of the show. We started the show with a public service announcement on eye care. We are going to end the show with a public service announcement on, I guess, eye care in a way. I'm not saying eye care because I don't. Every summer you have to deal with an awful conundrum, ticks. And yes, here it is. Floyd County man finds tick in his eye. From WYMT.com. There's a video. You check that out in the show notes at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. This one kind of skeeves me out. One Floyd County man is recovering after finding a tick in his eyeball. Chris Prater works for a local electric company. Before he starts each day, he told WYMT he always sprays himself with repellent. Where ticks are so bad this year, we always try to spray down really good, said Prater. However, one tick made its home in an unusual place. And there's a picture there. It's really hard to tell what's going on, but it's the eye. It's a close-up of the eye and the tiny little tick. It's magnified a bit, so that's why it's hard to tell what's going on. Prater noticed something was wrong after leaving a job site in Johnson County, where his crew cut a tree from some power lines. I noticed I just started having irritation in my eye, recalled Prater. I just got little goosebumps. I don't like that. He asked the office safety manager, to take a look at it. But after flushing his eye multiple times, the spot did not budge. The thing of it is, I really didn't want to go to the doctor. I figured if it was something, it would come out on its own, Prater said. As the irritation continued, he decided to see a local optometrist. When the doctor finally comes in, he was looking at it. He said, I know it's in your eye, Prater recalled. What he learned next, Prater said he could have never imagined. He said, it's a tick. That's when I got scared a little bit, laughed Prater. I leaned around and looked at him, and I asked him if he was joking, and he said, "No, you have a deer tick or some type of tick." It was very little. The doctor numbed Prater's eye. Using tweezers, he pulled the tick out. And this next part is my favorite. Once he grabbed a hold of it and pulled it off, the tick made like a little popping sound when it came off of my eye, recalled Prater. The doctor sent Prater home with antibiotics and steroid drops for his eye. Now Prater has a piece of advice for those who find themselves outside often. You get a lot of kids hiking, camping. I just urge them to spray, Prater pointed out. But you can spray your eyes, he joked. I wonder if you can get high off repellent. You know, like the wasp spray people from earlier? Forget it. The safety manager posted photos of the tick in Prater's eye online. The post gained about 92,000 shares since Friday. And there you have it. Our summer vacation spectacular comes to a close. I'm ready for autumn to come around now and just be done with all of this. What else is there to say? I don't know. Check out the website at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. And with that, I'll leave you with this. Welcome to the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. This has been Other Items of Interest. I've been Jack Zablocki. I hope you enjoyed our summer vacation spectacular. Visit us online at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. We'll see you next week, folks. We'll miss you. Bye-bye.